Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? I hope you're fine. While we were rejoicing, Ghana must go showed up. If you don't understand what I mean, this is the person I mean when I said Ghana must go. This statement raises a kind of anger in the mind of Ghanaians. It's true that there is this, I don't know whether it's nationally accepted, I don't know whether it's generally accepted in Ghana and in Nigeria, that Nigerians and Ghanaians don't cross paths. I think it's not true. Normally, there is this Cold War that exists between neighbors. Ghana being one of Nigerians' neighbors have been locked up in this Cold War, which is not official. It's not official. And when people take that neighboring Cold War to the next level, it shows how myopic they are. But like they say, there is no smoke without a fire. Nothing just happens without a cause, the law of cause and effects. I would like to take you back memory lane on how this war was fueled, or what gave roots to that war between Nigeria and Ghana. Yes, like I said, there's always this war between neighbors that you don't even know where it's coming from, but somehow, if you are not careful, that presumption gains life and keeps moving. One day, it will grow legs and hands and become a full-fledged terror. We saw that in Moses Bliss's wedding. Who would think that with all the joys, with all the happiness, with everything we saw between those two young guys who have set out for a new life of theirs, that they will still become victims of this Cold War? It is said that if I don't want to sustain it, I don't want to make it a thing that is official, but I've seen people say that if Nigeria and Ghana are not dragging jollof rice, they are dragging football. If it's not football, they are dragging whose English is better, and so many other nonsense. If you ask me, those people, I don't think they are speaking for Nigeria. I also don't think they are speaking for Ghana. I'm sure most of you have had few or two persons who were showing their frustration on Moses Bliss and his partner, showing their frustration on the choices they made. They quarreled about their appearance. They quarreled about the location of the wedding. They quarreled about the food served. They quarreled about their choices generally. They even quarreled about their honeymoon, forgetting that it is their life and nobody has the right to live it for them. They live it in their own terms. And that's what I'm going to tell everybody. Live your life in your own terms. We are not better than people who have lost their life in one way or the other, no matter how perfectly they've done things. But it's a constant reminder that you live life in your own terms under God. So for those people who were obviously showing their frustrations, I don't think they are speaking for Nigeria. I don't think they are speaking for Ghana. These are brothers, African countries, neighbors that have a lot of cultures, a lot of things in common. I usually tell people that the divisions in terms of geography and borders that we have in Africa is for administrative reasons. Even all over the world, it's for administrative reasons, to be able to manage humanity, population, and bring a better life. So if you are bounded by any country, don't ever feel that it has separated you from humanity. So when people make comments that are unfounded, as if they are going to live for the people they are talking about, it baffles me. Now, let me also bring a cultural perspective to it. For those people who are quarreling about the location of the marriage, somebody as much as asked me if I knew why they had their customary court marriage in Nigeria. Moses is the man who is taking a wife, and he is a Nigerian. He's going to wed his wife according to the laws of Nigeria. So if you ask me, there was nothing wrong with that. Somebody also said, why Ghana? How do you expect to want to take a wife, a woman from her parents, and then they will come to your house? Well, I don't know the practices in other places. I've heard that in some parts of the world, it is the women that go to the man to get him. But in Africa, Nigeria precisely, where I am from, a man who wants a woman, who wants to marry a wife, goes in search of that woman, that wife, and obviously you're going to go to her hometown, which happened to be Ghana in this case. You remember in that ceremony, Moses Bliss was asked to show or recognize the woman he wants to marry. And he says, this is the one that is to come. That this is the one. And he made a funny statement there. And people are saying, is she Christ? She's the one that is, and the one that is to come. He simply meant that, yes, I know her. She's the woman I have been courting. And she is the one that will follow me when I've taken her. So on the issue of location, it is the man that will move to the woman. He is the one getting a wife. Now they came to her dressings. Oh my God, that lady looked gorgeous. She looked beautiful. They were trying to size the worth of her dressing, of her attire, of her adornment. They say, for somebody who is, they say, what do you call celebrity? What do you call achievement? What do you call attainment? Is it the clothing we wear? There's nothing like simplicity. It puts pressure away from you. You know, when you're always trying to impress people, you want to come out in a certain style, you want them to hail whatever you're putting on. You are going to be in for a long thing. For how long can you sustain that? How long are you going to be able to put up with that? You're going for church service, people want to see what you're putting on. You want to go and play football or do gym or do any extracurricular activity, people want to see what you're putting on. Or you want to match up to that energy of expectations of the public. It's not realistic. So for people who pitch themselves with the expectations of the public, wanting them to appear in a certain light, it's not realistic. And my advice still to the young couple is to keep up with their simple life so that you don't get into that space where you're trying to please people and you break your legs, break your hands, and break your pockets. That's on a lighter note. So people worried about, how do you measure worth? How do you measure value? How do you measure expensiveness? How do you measure which word do we use now? Is it in the some clothing look very simple and they are yet costly. You know? So when people are not realistic, when they set standards for others, the question is whether they too are putting up with those standards. And nobody should allow anybody to put up standards for you. They want you to appear in a certain way. These people are also complaining about her appearance. For God, that this is a Christian marriage. In the Christendom, moderation is the key. Whatever you do, do all to the glory of God and not to the praise of men. So for those people who are expecting Mary to come out in a particular outfit, cut it down. Cut it down. And if you have put yourself in that kind of high jump, it is not sustainable. It's advisable you make a U-turn. Make a U-turn for your own peace. There's nothing like peace in life. Oh, there is nothing like peace. The peace you can only get when you give it to yourself. Peace doesn't come from pleasing people. Peace does not come from make una allow me now, make I no bite my tongue speaking grammar. Peace no they come with pitching yourself with standards of others. So as far as I'm concerned, that young lady was herself. She wore the things she planned to wear in that wedding. That's another thing. When people are planning in the pocket of other people, you're a woman. For those of them who are talking, you're a woman. You know you don't have a job, but you want to, oh my God, you know you cannot afford the life you want to live, but you want another person to give it to you. How fair is that? They're worried about her hair. What is wrong with wearing your hair? What I'm wearing here is my hair. What she's wearing is her hair. She can decide to turn it anyway. What's wrong with wearing your hair? Is it not still hair or acceptance that made people start putting on synthetic hair? If it is your choice to put on synthetic hair, leave it there. Don't make it another person's standard.
Jesus.
And I can also decide to wear a different hair. Another person can decide to wear a different hair. But what I'm saying is that you have more peace if you live your choices and not living the life and standard another person is setting for you.
The one who is to come, she's all of them.
And when we see you, we know you. For those who are equating beauty with some artificial things.
She's the one.
You can be artistic by trying to change one or two things about yourself and adorn yourself in a particular style. We are not against it. But what we're preaching is modesty, is chastity, by covering yourself and not becoming a nuisance to the public. And make sure that you don't use your own standard and yardstick as what it should be for others. I've come to realize to accept people the way I see them, the way I know them, and not set any standard for them or ask them why they are adorned in a particular way. It is not wise. It is not wise at all. It is not. So if you think that artificial hairs are your thing, the truth is that if they make you beautiful, fine. But we still know who you are. We still know, we can imagine your real face, your real person, your real look when those things are off. And for people who are so carried away with those things, and that is their own measure of beauty, I've seen a lot of people who found themselves in trouble because of things like that. You know, like when the hair is not yours, the eye you're wearing is not yours, the nose is not yours, the lips is not your own, the ear is not yours, the hands are not yours, the hips, the belly, everything you're wearing is not yours. They are engineered. You will discover that even when you succeed showing the public that this is who I am, there are still those who know you very well. Your partners are moving into the house with you. They know the real you. And some people have been in trouble. I've seen cases where a man marries a woman and they get home and trouble ensues. Why? She has removed everything she put on herself. And then the guy is now looking at, is this the person? This is not how I know you. This is not how I know you. So what is this? What is this? You know, it's like when somebody pretends and say, I'm a very rich guy, sorry, I'm a very poor person, and they disguise to marry someone. Someone accepts them that way, only to come to discover that that is not their real person. They were faking it. You know, they're thinking through all the times they have built synergy or togetherness to be able to accept to be together. Like, but this is not what attracted me to you. It could be vice versa. When you are forming to be rich and you get somebody that is wanting a rich person, only to come and discover that this is not the real you. You know, it takes some level of ability or grace to just accept what you have seen finally, so that people will not talk. While some can deal with it, others cannot deal with it. Some people go ahead and say, I don't want this, please. I cannot continue with it. So some marriages are broken up because some people felt this is who this person is, and only to find out that without all those addendums, they are not what they are. There's nothing like being you. There's nothing like being who you should be. There is nothing like being yourself. And I'm saying that value, quality, is not measured by the amount of money, in most cases, attached to a thing, by the flashiness, blings attached to them. So for some people who felt that Mary was dressed in certain ways, please stop setting standards that will put you on the edge. People borrow a life, borrowed life. Some people will call celebrities, some people that are on social media live their lives with hired stuff. How is it that you cannot make an appearance without going to get something you feel that those who are hailing you will like? That is not a life. That is not a life. It's advisable that your values are built on substance. Your values are built on things that will matter, things that will pass the test of time, and things that you will be proud to defend. When they also went for their honeymoon in the Maldives, I know Moses Bliss released some pictures, and people were like, how did you turn your wife into a camera person? How did you know she's the one behind the camera? They say, why are we not seeing her? When everybody, Moses Bliss has been somebody who is in the camera, but I don't know about the wife that much. It's not every person that likes to be advertised or likes advertising themselves. And there's nothing like keeping to that thing you have been doing, keeping to being you. For people who want to impress now and they start everything, they brush their teeth, they bring it to the camera. They wear their clothes, they bring it to the camera. She's just being herself. And Nigerians love you. As our daughter-in-law, Ghanaians love you. For those people who are spilling out their hate, spilling out their myopic views, it is not the general submission of Nigerians. It is not.
This constant strain between some Nigerians and some Ghanaians whenever everything comes up. It is not hip hop, it is football, it is food, it is one thing or the other. To the point that even in this wedding, some people are actually losing it. They say, why must it go Ghana? They can't say, um, uh, marry is better than Moses. It's all this nonsense that people kept talking about. You discover that this past is still here, and some people are not breaking up from it. We need to break off from whatever past that is shaping our conversation as a people, as two countries, as people who are now in the present and have been affected by it. If you also ask me, some people who are jealous also use this opportunity to showcase whatever frustration they have about relationship. Maybe they have been in previous relationships and it didn't work. Just like people who say men are bad or women are bad. Maybe because of their personal experiences, they are not able to manage their expectations. They now paint everybody in the same brush and say men are bad, women are bad. When you want to say things like that, you say there are women who are bad. And you say there are men who are bad. In everywhere you will see those people. But it has nothing to do with country, culture, and whatever. Bad people are everywhere. Bad situations are everywhere. The earlier you fix that mindset, the better it gets with whatever experiences you get out of situations. So those people came to speak for the people who are in the situation. It's just like you wanting to do something and another person is dictating for you how you're going to live your life, how you're supposed to marry, how you're supposed to do. Well, I don't understand. I do not understand. Some of them even went as much as calling all Nigerians prostitutes and saying all sorts of things. Some people also went ahead to call Ghanaians certain names which are not called for. They even went and said, "Who is motivated? What is he doing outside music? What do you think? What do you call job? What do you call achievement? And then what does he do aside music? Marry is a lawyer. This one, that one. Do you know what it takes to produce the music? Do you know what it takes to have a career? Do you know what it takes, whether it is for the woman or for the man, whatever they have gotten to? And these people forget that these are young people who are just starting their lives. How old are they? Mary is just 24. She just finished school. She was just called to her. And Moses is a young man too, 29, just turned 29. Just these are people who are beginning to enter the El Dorado of their lives, and people are already expecting that they would have achieved. What is their achievement? This one has UK citizenship. Oh my God, we show how that we can be sometimes. Eh, why did he choose somebody from the UK? Is it not because he's going to give her citizenship? Look at the mindset. So Nigerian citizenship or Ghanaian citizenship is nothing. She's a lawyer. She's so educated. Is Moses not also educated? I say her education is more than. I don't even know why I'm dismissing this statement. It's making it look like I'm also saying the same thing. Whatever level of education both of them have, that is where they are at this point in time. And they're on a journey. Whatever career they have, that is where they are at this point in time. And they're on a journey. People should stop dissecting people's achievements and their life. And I don't know what to say. Rejoice with those that rejoice, not with those that mourn. Leave it there. You can have personal reservations. Keep it to yourself. Don't bring it and say you must be like this. And these are people that if they are treated the same way, they will not like it. Many of them have issues that others are feeling them that they are crying, yet they come to do the same thing to others. It's uncalled for, totally uncalled for.
In that Ghana must go saga, I don't think it was also the Nigerian people. You know, when you have leaders who say they are speaking for the people, um, they are doing things. Most times they do things that they feel are good, and they may not augur well with the people. They may not be what the people want. But who are we? When they say they speak for us, they bring up these issues. And if a government is not good enough to think through on decisions, on policies, on how it will run its people, things like this will happen. And we expect that in these times and age, the Ghanaian people should understand what really transpired. Nigeria has also had a bad one from the Ghanaian government. But we should not use those happenings to judge our present. What happens is that we use our history, we use our past to plan the future. and ensure that in this 21st century, those bickering, those bad blood, those things do not continue. If we want to be the people we want to become, if we want to become the countries we want to be, if we want to become advanced, developed for the good of our own people, it would be nice that we jettison anything that pitches us against each other. If a government comes up and says, this is the policy I'm making now, even when it's anti-human, anti-people, there will be those who will applaud it, but majority may not. And at that point, even those leaders feel that that's what's best for their people. It might not be so. So there are so many things we don't have control over, especially when they enter office and start dishing out some of these their policies. The people do not have control over them, and nobody should fall out on the people because of wrong government decisions. They should see where the mistakes have been made and work towards a better decision next time. If we don't learn from the mistakes we have made in time past, then we'll be repeating those mistakes. The kind of bad blood that I saw people spill out in this season, a season that should be a season of joy, a season that should be a time where we are being knitted together in love, shows that we have not broken off from the things that deter us. Humanity will require that we begin to change the things we did yesterday as to get a better result. So help us God. For those people who are quarreling about Moses' choice of wife from Ghana, the question would be, where else? Where else? Even in your own country, people do not always marry everywhere. In your states, in your hometown, people from there do not marry from there. In most cases, they will still go elsewhere. And most cases, when people set out for these marriage journeys, they don't look at the location at first. Sometimes it's even when you are attracted, when you have set out for the journey, that you now start noticing that this person is from here or they are from there. Most times that is usually not the first consideration. But wherever you find love, that is where it is. Whether it's in Nigeria, whether it's Ghana, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Malaysia, Malawi, Kenya, wherever, UK, US, Europe, whatever, Russia, anywhere. I've seen a lot of people. In fact, there are more of your brothers who will still find, or who are even now finding wives outside the country. The question is usually, what circumstances brought them together? How did God lead them? We're talking about how God leads people to find life partners. In my previous video, I said it is very important to know the leading of God when it comes to choosing a life partner. Those things, the promptings of God, they come very strong. So you will still see and say that it is God that led me to this person, that led me to my partner, whether as a man or as a woman. So in this century and time, people are still fixing their mind on, it must be somebody from here. It must be somebody. Well, those are considerations that might be good, but they should not be the only yardstick. If circumstances as led by God brings you to someone, and you now discover that they are not people from your clan, not people from your kinsmen, not people from your locality, your nation, your state, your whatever, should you say, I will not go ahead because not be my mama born am or my papa born am? That's a very childish way of looking at things. So, and I've seen a lot of people also miss out on their blessings because they are not packaged the way they expect. Some of you that say, I cannot marry outside my state. If not be Igbo, I no marry. If not be Yoruba, I no marry. If not be Hausa, I no marry. Some of you who have made such harsh decisions on yourself may have also stayed back, and the blessings of God elude you because of primordial sentiments. Except there are cogent reasons for which you want to decline from the location, it shouldn't be the first consideration. The first consideration is this person with God? Does he have a knowledge of God? That's the number one. When somebody asks you, what should be your number one guiding principle in getting a life partner? The first consideration should be the person's values when it comes to godliness. Does the person know God? Does the person value what God would think, what God would say? Because God is the one who instituted marriage. The manuals are his word, and manuals help you maximize anything you procure for yourself. So if that person's considerations, the person's values are not built around the things of God, is a red flag, because it is the value they place on those things according to God's word that will determine how they also treat you. The Bible has encouraged people to love. They know that as a Christian, it's binding on me, or as a godly person, not just a Christian, it's binding on me to love. The word of God has said you have to forgive. That partner will know that it is binding on me as a believer to love. And where there are life issues, they begin to bring the word of God into the scene to be able to checkmate self. Because believe me, if you don't checkmate self, it will be leading you astray to different corner. In fact, it is the point of God that will tell you that you cannot be trying women. When you say, or trying men, this one is, I've tested this one, is not what I want. You move. You go to another one, I've tested that one, is not what I want. You jump. That fear of God will make you know that God values his children. I should value them the same way. God expects this from me. I should also put up such behaviors. So godliness is your number one consideration. Not has all the women in Nigeria finished? All the men in Ghana finished? Well, those places could be or may not be where the one that appeals to them as they are led by God is. Oh, by the way, I cannot continue this ranting without recognizing you that is watching me now. Those of you who have subscribed to my channel recently, I see you. I see all your love. I see all your comments. I see your massive show of acceptance and love. You subscribe to my channel. I am most grateful. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much. You are the reason I'm able to sit in front of this camera to say one or two things. If you don't listen, who will I talk to? Thank you so much. And if you just stumbled into this video, we talk about relationships, lifestyle, we review information, and sometimes we try to come here and rant and to connect with you. Thank you for stopping by. Please do subscribe. Thank you so much, my returning subscribers as well. Yes. I've seen marriages that broke up after many years. An example is Nigeria's billionaire woman, Alakija. There are a lot of versions to the breakup, but I don't really want to make it an issue. If after 47 years, and that's almost 80 or years, more than 3 scores, almost 4 scores plus, somebody decides to quit, I don't know what to call it. But you know what gave more life to this whole thing is social media and this celebrity lifestyle. If that woman is not known, nobody would know what is going on in her marriage. It's also possible that she just walked away, like, let me cool my head. Because there are times that the heat is much for you, even in relationship where there is so much love, so much going on for them. There are times that so many things are happening and you just want to separate. While the Bible does not encourage divorce, it allows separation. Separation is a situation where you feel, I need to save myself, save my life, save the day, save a lot of things. You just move out from that sin. It simply means that so long as your partner is alive, you might not consummate any other relationship elsewhere, but you can walk away from that sin or that marriage for the time being to be able to restore sanity, to be able to solve some problems as the case may be. So it's possible that she just walked away, and those who are privy to the whole thing carry on the news. And that's one thing about putting your life, private life, so much outside in the social media, because when they carry it on for you, you might not be able to come back, because you'll be wondering what next. As people are saying, she has pushed the man away, she has done this, she has done that. And then the person will be wondering, if I go back there, what would the news be? People will start saying, oh, after throwing the man away, she's now coming back. The heat is much on her. She cannot carry on without him. And all those kind of things. So please, it is advisable that you take your relationship outside social media. That is what I'm also advising Moses Bliss and his wife. You can do God's work, you can do your ministry, you can do everything in the eye of the people. But when it comes to your personal life and your relationship with your partner, it's important to take them off social media. Because for Alakija and for this woman now, it's possible that she just made a decision to take an action to solve a problem, and then the media is carrying it to an extent that will now help actually actualize what they are saying. So for couples, let the word of God be your yardstick, your standard, and where you think you need help, meet professionals, people who have been through what you're going through and have come out of it. They have the best advice for you. So I've tried to check the information available concerning that breakup. Nobody is able to say anything cogent. Some people have speculated that the cheat or cheater, how do they say it? That is promiscuous. Then some people have also said it's financial because she is the powerhouse. Some people have said a lot of things, but the question will still be, how would an octogenarian jettison her marriage and put it on social media? I still feel that there is more to that breakup than people are saying or that people know. In this time and era where people are looking for content, they're going to add sugar, salt, Maggi, wine and everything to any story to make it juicy. And then they help you scatter the more. May God help every marriage, every relationship that is in turmoil, because there is always a possibility to come out and then come out stronger.